what they see. So NBA, U.S. basketball and the NBA, just leave it alone. Don't lower no rims. Don't, get rid of the 3-point line. Don't do all that. Keep what you got right now, and just tell them boys and girls, sit your butt down. We're coming to the end of the show. I appreciate you for chilling with me tonight on the Wait a Minute show, and we're gonna finish this up with a little bit of football. And I am wondering, and I'm wondering if the NFL is wondering it. Well, they're probably not. I think they're good, but is the NFL in good hands right now with this new crop of quarterbacks that's in the league? And this is a quarterback league. We all know it. Everyone says you have to have a quarterback, to do anything in this league, or at least have a quarterback that plays well, for a short period of time or anything like that. But Drew Brees, he's going to be gone sooner than later. Tom Brady, he's going to be gone sooner than later. Eli Manning, gone sooner than later. Big Ben, gone sooner than later. Phillip Rivers, gone sooner than later. They are on the back nine of their career. They're going to be, gone. So is the NFL in good shape with this new crop of quarterbacks? Now, it's looking bright, but it still remains to be seen. We have guys, that's on deck that we're going to be, crossing our fingers for. We talked about Jared Goff earlier in the show. He had a tremendous turnaround to his second year from what happened in his first year. So you got to think he's probably going to be getting, a little bit better, if you will. I'm not ready to say, he's going to be one of the guys that is in the NFL. When you talk about NFL quarterbacks, you bring his name up. He got a lot, still got a lot of work to do. Still, building off of what last season was. Carson Wentz, I think people got him way ahead of a lot of quarterbacks. I mean, he was in the running for MVP, but I also now Dak was not in the running for MVP, but everyone was talking about how poised Dak was and everything. And then we found out, the second year when all that stuff got put on Dak to do, and especially with Zeke gone, it didn't play out. The season didn't play out like it played out in his rookie season, So, but there is promise there. So I bring up Wentz because he was in the running for MVP, and he had a good chance of winning the MVP if he had stayed healthy. And he's on a team that actually won, the Super Bowl. Now, they won it without him, but that's another story. But I think, a guy like Carson Wentz, he gets it, and he's a gamer. He obviously he developed over that second year just like Jared Goff did, but I think, he took it to an even newer level, if you will. And he didn't have a Todd Gurley. No, there was no running back on Philadelphia team that was Todd Gurley. Now, they may not have needed, anything like that, but Alshon Jeffrey, very good, wide receiver, but not, he's not in the conversation piece with, Julio, Antonio Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins and all that, stuff. Obviously, Torrey Smith and Nelson Aguilar was not in there. Zach Ertz is one of the top tight ends that's out there. So yes, so he could be the guy. He could be one of the few that is going to take the reins, for this franchise or this organization, this league of the NFL. Deshaun Watson, I think everybody got excited about Deshaun Watson because, a lot of it was, why did he go to the 12th pick? Another was, what took Houston so long? And then when he finally got into the game, you could see how he turned the team around. And if they got big hopes for this year coming, because they're going to get their defense back, and everything, but they're going to get what everyone's pretty much been saying about the Texans, that they're a quarterback away from possibly making a run at the Super Bowl. So Deshaun Watson is probably, a guy that the NFL is hoping, takes the next step so they can put, their the shield, behind him and market him as one of the up and coming quarterbacks. Now you got some guys that's been in the league for a little bit, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota. Jameis Winston still has not gotten his team to the playoffs. He's gotten them close the previous year before last year. They were on the cusp. They had big expectations this past year. It didn't happen, like they had planned out. Marcus Mariota, he actually got his team to the playoffs. They played probably the first. They played Kansas City well, but then they ran into New England, which a lot of teams do, especially their first time playing a playoff game in Gillette Stadium and against Tom Brady and against, Bill Belichick. But they did very good probably for the first 5 minutes, and then reality set in. But I like what I saw, from Marcus Mariota this year. Derek Carr, jury's still out on him. He has one good year, then he has this, this horrible year, and it could just be just that one year that it was just a horrible year. But as far as players, again, you don't have that Big Ben, Phillip Rivers, and Eli. I don't think any of these guys are there yet, but they could possibly be. And intertwined with guys like Matt Ryan and Matthew Stafford, as well. But I think the NFL is happy at this point. I think the NFL is cool, with where they are, for the most part. There's still some question marks on some other teams, but you're always going to have that. But they're lucky because Wentz and Goff, I wasn't so on either one. I did say Goff will go number 1 overall, but I did not expect what Wentz did last year to be, doing that at that early in the stage of his career. So it was good to see. Last thing we're going to talk about, and then we'll get out of here. I know Mocha's going to be upset, but there's not going to be a Big L award because everyone didn't do anything loserish. So everyone is safe for tonight. But you never know. Saturday show, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, thewaitaminteshow.com. We may have someone on that, so tune in. We could have a Big L award recipient for that as well. But the NFL is now talking about the catch rule. The catch rule. And Clutch Talk Sports, he just asked me what's the call-in number. Call-in number is 650-THE-WHAM-1. THEWAM1. The Wham 1. So we may get a special call from Clutch Talk from Kevin Gray tonight. But this whole thing about the catch rule, they're talking about taking the whole jargon of the ball movement and going to the ground away, which you ask me, I am ecstatic if they do that. Because for me, and again, 650-THE-WHAM, THEWAM1 to call in. But for me, the catching a ball in motion with people trying to tear your head off while you're going to the ground is an extraordinary task. And then you're going to tell me that I have to control it all the way to the ground. I have to make sure it's not moving, even though I'm getting hit by people 250, 222 pounds, and if it moves, you're going to tell me it's incomplete. And I think this is Clutch. Let me see if we can get cut. This is the Wait a Minute show. Who's speaking?
Jelani, what's good? Kevin for Clutch Talk Sports Radio.
Hold on, Kevin. Hold on for a second. I just want to make sure everyone knows at 10:39 Eastern Standard Time p.m. I am being graced with excellence to the Wait a Minute show. My man Kevin Gray from Clutch Talk Sports is on the line with us. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Jelani, I couldn't be more happier. I would have been more happier back in 2014 if the rule was corrected then to allow Des Bryant to have caught the football like he did against the Green Bay Packers, which would have changed the entire trajectory of the Dallas Cowboys' future from that moment on. But I digress.
How did I know that was going to come up? How did I know that was going to come up? I will say this, Kevin. I said that Dez, it was a catch. I lost my mind when they said that was incomplete. And I'm like, are you serious? The man, he elevated, hovered, levitated all at once to catch the ball, came down, reached over, and I mean, like, it doesn't get any harder to do than that. And it's just like you took that away from that man, on a technicality or whatever the rule is. So I get exactly what you're saying. Like, I mean, I couldn't believe it that they reversed the rule, the catch, as well. But yeah, like you just said, I'm so glad that they are changing this rule because it is so difficult to make a catch. And I think it's unfair to a pass catcher because they are at different rules than what everyone else is at. Am I far-fetched off from that?
No. The NFL is an offensive league, so it would make sense that they would make a rule or continue to have a rule that would benefit the offense. And what way to have more offense than to have receivers catch the football and complete catches to score more points. So, no, I think it's in line with what the NFL is. It's an offensive-friendly league. So this makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I think, for what they were saying were not catches, like some of the things they were saying was slight ball movement. I don't get that. I mean, how can you tell me slight ball movement in a contact sport? That I get it if we're playing flag football, but we're playing a contact sport. Guess what? The ball is going to move. Exactly. Yeah, I am so glad that they are changing this around. There was something else that they said, and I'm pulling it up right here while I got you on. This is the NFL competition committee released some recommended changes to the catch rule too. So they were saying that the competition committee recommendation on the catch rule is 1, control, 2 feet down or another body part, and then 3, it says a football move such as a third step, reaching or extending for the line to gain, or the ability to perform such an act. To me, for that is okay. If we go by that, because we've seen people with a third, take a third step, but they want you to be moving forward. And I'm telling you, I really think they were just asking for too much for a contact sport, and reaching and extending, just like we were talking about the Dez thing, that would have 2014, that would have been a catch. And it would have changed the trajectory, as you say, for your Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, it would have, because we would have played Seattle in that NFC Championship game, and I believe the Dallas Cowboys would have had a legitimate shot of beating Seattle in that NFC Championship game. That was the year Des Bryant led the league with 16 touchdown catches and had a phenomenal year. And needless to say, the Cowboys would have had a legitimate chance. And who knows, Tony Romo may still be the starter today if that is ruled a catch. But, it is what it is. We'll just dump it to Calvin Johnson rule, because this is where it's all started. Way back with your boy Calvin Johnson from the Detroit Lions. And then you had the whole Jesse James situation earlier, or in this past NFL season against the New England Patriots. So that was ruled an incomplete pass, which changed the trajectory of the Steelers season because they were fighting for home field advantage throughout the NFL, the AFC playoffs, And if they win that game, they're playing an AFC Championship game in their place. Well, man.